Thank you very much, Professor Michelle. And I think what Professor has presented now is going to make so many of us eat the crickets and other things. Yep. You remember in the morning when we were discussing the insects and many other foods, and people were like, oh my, I don't think I can go that way. But when you see the chronology of events, how we were colonized, how our tables were overturned, and how it has taken us time to reach where we are, actually we were tracing our roots as to how we got ourselves into situations where our health has really changed towards the negative. In fact, most of the lifestyle diseases that people are experiencing now, we never used to hear about them. I remember when I was a young girl, I liked staying with my aunties, my grandmother, and I could hear them saying, we have stayed for so long without hearing somebody dying. Why can't we just have one so that we can go to a funeral? Yeah, they used to say that. But I used to watch what they were doing in the way the food was being cooked and preserved and so on and so forth. And I discovered that this is why some people could even wish to die. I had a great-grandmother. She was totally blind, but she still used to cook for herself. And when she was unable, she used to insist on particular food ingredients that she wanted to be cooked for her. If you wanted to cook for her, you needed to learn. And some of those foods were those insects that we were saying, we cannot eat those type of things. And when you look at the Kenyan food market today, we saw something on cities, e-cities today, which was presented by Helen or somebody, Elizabeth. And she was talking about most of what was presented there was showing us the new or modern types of foods that came in with that recipe book. I know that recipe book, actually I have it in my house. That Kenyan cookery book, I have it in my house. And I think it is by Professor Ruth Onyango or somebody. And that book has the recipes that do not belong to the generation where some of us grew. Right now I'm 65 years old, but when I stand up with some people, I look like I'm just about their age mate. But it's because you define what you want to eat. And you know, the way food used to be processed a long time ago cannot be done in town where we live. Because you wake up in the morning and a neighbor has started pounding some ground peanuts. They want to make peanut butter. And they are your next door neighbor. And they're busy pounding peanut or pounding cassava, and there is no soundproof. How long can you be in that neighborhood before you look to go to another neighborhood? So there are so many things that have changed in our lifestyles. Even if you look at the street foods, they are devoid of our own indigenous foods. But all of a sudden, there is an urge for people to eat natural foods. I don't know whether you have realized that. Everybody's looking for managu, everybody's looking for kunde, everybody's looking for saget, somebody's looking for usuga, kake, whatever. And everybody wants to go that direction. Why? Because they are seeing a lot of lifestyle caused deaths. Only last week, I attended the funerals of 3 people who have died of cancer. And one of them was very young. So you wonder, can you, in this time, ask when will another person die? Because I know there are even people who avoid funerals because there are too many. And every time it is blood pressure, it is diabetes, it is ulcers. They are all lifestyle. So people are struggling with information from internet, information that has no science. You are just opening your Facebook or somewhere, and then you are being told, mix the following, and your blood pressure will go down in 2 days. And some people die because of that. There is no science. You don't know the source of this information. So that history there that we have been given by Professor Michelle is telling us where we went wrong. Yeah? Where we need to make things correct. When you talk of organically grown foods, the foods that can be easily grown organically are our traditional foods. How many of us can just grow maybe 20 acres, as is done in the Rift Valley, of maize organically? It is not possible. So most of these foods that we are throwing away, the fruits and the vegetables and other natural foods, those that can be grown organically, and which are very expensive in many countries, especially if you go export, they fetch premium prices. And yet, they are the ones that have been misplaced from our dining tables. So I'm very happy that presentation is going to give us a lot of insight. And when I looked at it, I saw a lot of gaps, or maybe call them research questions, that some of us as young coming up scientists would be able to carry our studies on. And finally, I love the term gastronomic hacking. Somehow you just have to do that, because somebody hacked it from us, right? Somebody hacked it from us. And it has taken a very long time. If you saw the history, right from colonization, coming down to where we are now, and now we are at crossroads where we are wondering, how can we go back to our natural foods? If it means to hack, then I think that is the right way to go. Thank you very much.